Hi, and welcome to our website. My name is Dr. John Heyer. If you're here checking out our video or on our website, it's probably because you're not getting answers to your questions or you're not getting solutions to your problems anywhere else. Does this describe you? Every morning you wake up full of energy, ready to jump out of bed and seize the day? No? Or does this describe you? Tonight when you go to bed, you're already tired for tomorrow. Well, you might be one of 50 million Americans who suffer from some type of thyroid dysfunction. And when we think of thyroid dysfunction, we usually think of two possible conditions, hypo and hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is the most common, and when you hear the word hypo with an O, think low and slow. So what does a low and slow thyroid look like? Well, as we mentioned already, being fatigued and tired and excessive lethargy. Other symptoms can include thinning of the hair and loss of hair. Some people have a difficulty with mental clarity, we might call it brain fog, and other people have a difficult time losing weight, and in fact, when they're doing everything they think they should be doing to lose weight, they're actually gaining weight. Those are just some of the symptoms and signs with hypothyroidism. I'm also willing to bet you've probably been to your primary doctor, maybe even an endocrine specialist, and had lab tests done only to be told there's nothing wrong. The tests are negative, they can't find anything wrong with you. But you don't feel like that because there's obviously a reason that you went to the doctor because you weren't feeling well. And I think part of that problem might be the way that people are tested for thyroid problems. And let me explain with an analogy. I'm sure you've probably heard or seen the CarMax commercial where they explain to us that they do a 120-point check on every car that comes in for safety and functionality to make sure it's a good car before they put it on the lot to be sold. I'm sure you've probably heard of that. Well, let's pretend. Let's pretend it's a Friday afternoon and it's half an hour before closing and the technician gets a car into his bay to do a 120-point evaluation. And he knows that if he does all 120-point check, he's going to be late for his plans after closing. And he knows that this particular car, if there's a problem, it's going to be one of 10 things. And it's only going to take him maybe half an hour, and then he won't be late for his plans after work. So he does the 10 checks and sees that it's all good. The car gets a clean bill of health and a check mark, and it gets put out on the lot. Now, statistically, it's probably okay, right? He can probably get away with that once or so, and there won't be a big deal. But let's say he does that on every car that comes in, every day, every week, every month, for a year. Do you think it's possible that he might miss something that could affect the safety and the well-being of the purchaser or the buyer of that car? I would say yes. And so back to the lab tests. Typically, most primary doctors or endocrinologists will do a thyroid panel which consists of only two tests, TSH and T4. Sometimes a third one for T3. But that's a very limited panel, when in fact there's actually 10 tests that could and should be evaluated. Now, do you think if a doctor is only doing 2 out of 10 potential tests, something could be overlooked? I do, and that's why our approach in my office is different. We look at you as a whole person, and we come from a holistic perspective. And the blood panel, the complete blood panel, is just one of several things that we do to evaluate what the potential underlying cause for your health problems might be. So when you call and schedule for your consultation, I want you to make sure that you bring in your labs and any reports that you have so that we can look at them together and decide what the next best step is for you. So again, my name is Dr. John Heyer. I look forward to serving you.